Hello everyone and welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. At the time I'm recording this, this new event is going on. This 25 times chance summon boost. Welcome to the Progressive Chance event. Select champions to fill the slots. These champions receive a progressive summon boost up to 25 times. Fill all slots for a specific shard type and boost your summoning chances up to 25% when summoning other same rarity champions from this shard. Alright. Select 4 champions to boost the chances of summoning them by up to 15 times, 20 times, or 25 times. Alright. I can see it down there. The milestones by the pictures. That's the same rarity, okay. Alright. I'll use some of my shards. Not the sacred, because I don't have enough to make that worthwhile. Same goes for primal. So, I'll use like maybe 3 ancient and 1 or 2 void, because I don't have a lot at this time. So let's see what we'll get. Darn it! Duplicate. Okay, I used 5 shards. And they were all duplicates, so I just skipped all that in the footage. Now I know this will be very like a new one. Ooh. Gallia long braids of the dwarves. And that back on the first try, nice. Let's see what she can do. Brutal Bludgeon. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit will ignore 30% of the target's defense. Places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns. The shield value is equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. Alright. Pretty handy. Oh, also, I'll discuss it on a different time. Not today. Fearless Aggression. One enemy will ignore 50% of the target's defense when attacking under a shield buff. Alright. Ascension skill will, let's see, heal this champion by 50% of the damage inflicted. Place a shield buff on this champion equal to any surplus heal for 3 turns. Alright. Handy. Sheer Swagger. Attack one enemy 3 times. Each hit will ignore 25% of the target's defense. Grants an extra turn to this champion. Has full HP after using his skill. Okay. Useful. Aura skill increases ally attack in all battles by 25%. Not bad. And my chances of getting that champion, the epic champion selected here, has increased to 20 times. One more. Please. Biscuits. Duplicate. One more. And then I'm done. I do not have the shards to do well in this event. Dang it. Okay, a hollow of the undead hordes. Someone new at least. I like the design. Pretty cool. Bleed away. Attacks one enemy. 10% chance of placing a 2.5 poison debuff for 2 turns. Creeping Dark. One enemy 4 times. Not bad. Each hit decreases the target's turn meter and fills the champion's turn meter by 5%. That's handy against Fire Knight. 3-turn cooldown. That's very handy against Fire Knight. Aether Strike. One enemy, ignore 25% of target's defense. Alright. Not bad. Increases ally attack in dungeons by 21%. Is the Ascension Aura. Okay. Well, I didn't profit much from this event, but I had very low shards, so that's to be expected. I did challenges off camera. I upgraded Wukong to rank 6, which got this done. And won a campaign battle with 4 level 60 champions. So I got that done. And sweet, we completed all the challenges in this category. Nice. For some reason it's counting, it says beat the campaign is completed. I have not beat the campaign, so let's ignore that. And then there's this one. Place block debuffs or remove debuffs while beating stage 7 of Void Keep. Got that done. Very nice. Took a second. And now we got an ancient shard from that. What's up? What else is there? Clear stage 10 of magically keep. Sorry. 10 of Force, 10 of Spirit, Arcane, on auto. Stage 8 of Dragon's Lair. Stage 8 of Fire Knight's Castle. I'll do all these off camera again. I looked at my missions because I had thought I haven't done them in a while, and turns out I didn't complete this one to get speed artifacts from Clouds of Aravia. I'll just do that and come back real quick. Alright, I'm back, and we have completed the mission. Alright. And then upgrade 2 or more artifacts to level 12. Do that later. Alright. This is the new update. The Cursed City. I will link the videos that go over the changes in the description, because One, it's a lot to read here, and they explain it far better than I can. Oh! New champion lore. Nice. Cursed City unlocked. Explore the Cursed City. Complete stages with unique challenges to earn awesome rewards. Take on a terrifying new boss to earn mythical gear in the Cursed Realm. I forgot to read the top, sorry. Defeat Amius, the Lunar Archon. Alright. And then get a mythical champion. Complete Cursed City quests to get Carnage, the Archon, and other great rewards. Let's go to that. Welcome to the Cursed City. You'll need to clear 4 sorry, I read that too fast. You'll need to clear stages across 4 districts by moving along the paths and defeating enemies, before climbing the Eclipse Tower and finding Amius the Lunar Archon. You'll face familiar and new challenges alike, including double boss stages, which will be torture for me. Taking on 2 of Teleria's familiar foes at once will reward you with the Eclipse Key as well as other awesome rewards. You'll need 3 Eclipse Keys to enter the Eclipse Tower at the heart of the Cursed City. There you'll face off against Amius the Lunar Archon and decide the fate of Centrenos. Good luck. Alright. I like the new music. Let's see. Quests. Here we go. Okay, pretty simple. Fairly enough. Clear stages. Every stage has requirements that you must meet in order to complete it. They might restrict the rarity, faction, type, or affinity of champions you can use, and requirements will get tougher the deeper you go into the city. Okay, so I'm restricted to the Bannerlords, Sacred Order, and High Elves. Oh, they already included my stuff. Nice. Okay, I think I can handle it. From what they said in the update preview, it'll be something slightly similar to campaign on some stages, so. Ooh, new music. There's a notable difference. He faced 5 champions here. That's a different twist. I was not expecting that. Sorry for the lack of commentary. I'm just enjoying the new stuff. Enjoying the new stuff. Sorry. I don't know why I said that weird. All right. That's the Cursed Sea. Okay. Sweet. A new champion. Nice. And an artifact set. And it's a Griffin one too. Let's take a look. Alright, we got Giscard the Sigilled. Oh, no, Giscard the Sigilled, sorry. Of the Bannerlords. Pretty interesting. Favorite him because of a promo code. Let's see what he can do. Fallbreaker. Attacks one enemy. 50% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 1 turn. Alright. Lion's Roar. Attacks all enemies. 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Also plays a shield buff on his champion equal to 25% to max HP for 2 turns. Alright. Field of Strength. Places a 60% increased defense buff and a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's handy. His Ascension skill, the passive, Egotist. Fills the champion's turn meter by 15% whenever they are attacked. Sorry, I ran out of breath here. Whenever they are attacked by an enemy under provoke debuff or increased attack buff. Alright. Aura scale increases allied defense infection crypts by 27%. Alright. And yeah, Dakota also gave me a Guardian set, which is sweet because I can't get 6-star where I'm at right now, so this is pretty invaluable. I had gotten some champions off camera. Though some were... I was trying to get points for a summon event, and I unexpectedly got new champions. So, but this one here, he was active during a summon pool event, and I've forgotten if you didn't use your crystals, they would automatically be used, so... And I kept them in the inbox ever since. But now, that I'm recording, I'm gonna collect them and go over what I can do. And that champion is the Mystic Hand of the Dark Elves. Okay, his design. But let's see what we can do. Tainted Blade attacks one enemy. 30% chance of placing a block buff, speed buff for one turn. Turn the Tide. One enemy steals 2 random debuffs from the target. Pretty useful. Soul Link heals the ally with the lowest HP by 15%, then equalizes the HP of all allies. Ascendant skill increases it to 25%. Aura skill increases ally HP in dungeons by 25%. Alright. And another one we have is Hera of the High Elves. I like that design. Feint. One enemy has a 20% extra chance of inflicting a critical hit. Poisonous Lily. One enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 35% chance of placing a 2.5 poison debuff for 2 turns. The Ascendant skill increases the poison. I've been playing with her, and this is a skill I like, especially in Fire Knight. Lead the charge. Attacks one enemy with 2 random allies. Allies joining the attack use their default skills. Ally attacks are very useful in Fire Knight, so I'm glad she has this. Aura skill increases ally critical arena by 16%. Quaestor of the Bannerlords. I like the armor. Undaunted Assault. One enemy inflicts 30% extra critical damage if this champion has less than 50% HP. Guiding Example. One enemy places a 50% increased critical damage buff on all allies for 2 turns if the attack is critical. Alright. Ascension skill Depletion. Attacks one enemy. 75% chance of removing 2 random buffs from the target. Alright. And now we have Stag Knight. And I love his design. I like the antlers on his helmet and shield. One of my favorite designs. Spot Quarry. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Descension skill doubles the decreased speed. Huntmaster attacks enemies. 70% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff and a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Alright. and lead the pack. A passive skill. Places a 50% increased accuracy buff on one ally for one turn each time the ally has a debuff resisted by an enemy. Alright. We have the headsman of the Sacred Order. I like the axe. Public execution. One enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 10% chance of placing a fear debuff for one turn. Headsman do. Attacks all enemies. 30% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction. 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Sorry, I could not read there for some reason. Ascension skill, passive, judged guilty, inflicts 50% more damage to targets under heal reduction debuffs. Alright. True Gore of the Barbarians. I like the helmet. Bloodshed Rites. Attacks one enemy. Places a 25% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns if the attack is critical. Maniacal Chopping. One enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Ascension skill. Leave them gutted. Attacks all enemies. 30% chance of increasing the cooldowns of all targets of each target's skills by 2 turns. Oh, I don't know I don't know why I can't read today. But that's a pretty good skill. Flesh Eater of the Ogrins. He does not look like someone who wanna be around for long. Yeesh. Freeze the blood. One enemy, 20% chance of placing a freeze debuff on the target for 1 turn. Alright. Tenderize. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each critical hit decreases the target's turn meter by 15%. Okay. Gruesome Nourishment. Places a 25% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. The Ascendant skill doubles the buff. Doubles the buff, sorry. Aura skill increases ally HP and faction grips by 22%. Ooh. My voice is starting to get tired here. Flinger of the Lizardmen. I got this guy from the campaign. Alright design. Axe Throw. One enemy, 40% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 1 turn. And then Meteor attacks all enemies. Boring. Burn. Basic name. Attacks one enemy. Has an extra 50% chance of inflicting a critical hit. The Ascendant skill doubles the chance of the critical hit. Increases ally resistance and faction crips by 30%. Alright. Meat Carver Torlog. Nope. Tollog, sorry. of the Skinwalkers. Jagged Cut. One enemy 2 times. Each hit heals its champion by 2% their max HP. Okay. Butcher's Block. Places a 30% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. And a 15% continuous heal buff on allies for 1 turn. Alright. Reviving Stew. Revives an ally with 30% HP and 30% turn meter. Places a 15% continuous heal buff on the revived ally for 1 turn. A revive skill. Nice. Ascension skill passive Feed the Horde. Whenever a 15% continuous heal buff is placed by an ally from the Skinwalker's faction expires, is removed or stolen, places a 7.5 continuous heal buff on that ally for 1 turn. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. Okay, so a very useful support. Now we got Grappler of the Skinwalkers. He's an ugly fella. Hoodoo. One enemy attacks 2 times at random. Sorry. 50% chance of placing a 15% weaken debuff for 2 turns. Soul Sizzle. One enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing 2 2.5 poison debuffs for 2 turns. Alright. Envelop. Places a shield buff on all allies equal to 20% their HP for 2 turns. Ascension skill adds a reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. Aura skill increases spirit ally HP in all battles by 19%. And now we have Channeler. Rage of the Ancients. One enemy, 25% chance of placing a 50% heal reduction for 1 turn. Alright. Halt. One enemy, 50% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn. Ascension skill, Agility. Places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Fills turn meter of all allies by 15%. Aura skill increases ally resistance to infection crypts by 30. Alright. And now we have Taurus. An epic champion. Oh, I have high hopes. Metabolize. Attacks one enemy. Heals by 20% of the damage inflicted if the target has a poison debuff. Alright. Tendon Slash. Attacks one enemy. 75% chance of placing a 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. Sorry. Toxic Nova. This champion receives damage equal to 99% of their current HP. 80% chance of placing 5% poison debuffs on all enemies for 2 turns. The Ascension skill gives him an unkillable buff for 2 turns. That's very useful once you ascend them. Increases ally accuracy, infection grips by 40 is his aura skill. Totem of the Orcs. Poisonous Evocation. One enemy, 20% chance of placing a 2.5 poison debuff on the target for 2 turns. Malediction. One enemy, 50% chance of removing a random buff from the target. Ascension skill places a 15% into his heal buff on his champion if a buff is removed. Okay? Mango Storm. All enemies, 30% chance. Plays a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Petrifier of the Demon Spawn. Oh, sorry. Petrifier Rock Root. Sorry. Flint Hail. One enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. If the target is under a poison sensitivity debuff placed by this champion, each hit has a 20% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense instead. Desiccation. Attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing a 25% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Second hit has a 50% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Rock Pulse. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 25% chance of placing a 25% poison sensitivity debuff for 2 turns. If all hits land on the same target, also places a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. Ascension skill. Aura increases ally accuracy in all battles by 30. Alright. Crimson Helm of the Dark Elves. I like the helmet. Sucker's Punch. Attacks 1 enemy, 30% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 1 turn. Vile Tongue. 4 times at random. Each hit has a 75% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn. On guard. Place a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Ascension skill also places a revive on death buff. Aura skill increases ally HP in dungeons by 33%. Wanderer of the Dark Elves. Love the design. Leon. 1 enemy, 30% chance of placing a 50% weaken debuff for 2 turns. Alright. Blade Sympathy. 1 enemy 2 times. Each critical hit decreases the target's turn meter by 10%. The Ascension skill changes it. It decreases the target's turn meter by 10% if the attack is critical. Fills the champion's turn meter by 10% if the attack is critical. Okay. Pierce through. Sorry. 1 enemy will ignore 25% of the target's defense. Aura skill increases ally attack in dungeons by 21%. Longsword Torux of the Knights Revenant. Festering Claymore. One enemy, 35% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. Putrescent Cut. Attacks all enemies, before attacking, placing a 30% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Has a 45% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Alright. Blade Breaker. Places a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn if the incoming damage exceeds 20% of this champion's max HP. Passive effect. Counterattacks when hit by an enemy under a provoke debuff. Alright. Or skill increases ally defense in dungeons by 25%. And it's an ascension skill. An update had happened and the Sylvan Watchers got 2 uncommon champions. Let's see what they can do. Branch Weaver. Sorry. Love the design so much. Branch of Alacrity. I had never seen that word before. Attacks 1 enemy. Places a 15% increased speed buff on the ally with the highest return meter except this champion for 1 turn. Ascension skill, Dagger Leaf. Attacks all enemies, 25% chance of placing a 50% decreased speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Sorry for that stutter. And finally, with all the champions I summoned off camera, we have Glen Spear. Love the outfit and weapon. Spear Crescent. 1 enemy, place an extra hit if the target is under a weaken debuff. Ascension skill, Sapping Spear. 1 enemy, 50% chance of placing a weaken debuff, a 50% weaken debuff for 2 turns. Alright. And I know that this episode's been talking about champions mostly, but it's gone on for long enough. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Catch you later.